Every year, the world is producing more than enough food to feed its entire population. Yet, food security remains elusive with hunger, a continuing epidemic, especially in developing countries. Countless tons of food are wasted through the supply chain, from post-harvest losses to manufacturing and retail spoilage, thereby directly threatening the food security and resulting in increased global food prices. Roughly 1/3 of the total food produced is wasted or lost globally. This approximately equals 1.3 billion tons of food. One of the key contributing regions is North America. In Canada, $31 billion of food is wasted every year. From this, 47% of food waste is from at home. This equals approximately 6 billion kilograms of food. From this, fruits and vegetables waste accounts for 40%. According to Statistics Canada, in 2009, 122 kilograms of total fresh and processed fruits and vegetables were wasted. Much of these waste comes from food spoilage.
It is projected that by 2050, the total world population will reach 9 billion. With a growing demand for more food, reducing food loss and increasing food accessibility is critical. One of many ways to achieve higher food accessibility is to reduce the food waste by advanced techniques, and food scientists are actively devoting to this area. By using some emerging food processing technologies, the shelf life of fruits and vegetable commodities can be extended. One of the most interesting and significant processing techniques developed by Canadian food scientists is the vacuum microwave drying. This dehydration technology was first developed at the University of British Columbia by Dr. Tim Durrance. Vacuum microwave technology uses a combination of vacuum condition and microwave energy to dehydrate food products at low temperature. It can be used to preserve fruits and vegetables with relatively high nutrient and sensory retention. Next is high-pressure processing, or known as HPP. This technology can be used for fresh produce decontamination, and it may be an effective post-harvest strategy to reduce microbial pathogens from fresh produce. Another example is ultrasonic washer. This technology can be incorporated into a commercial produce washing line, and it assists in removing bacteria cells and virus particles from produce surfaces and thus extend the shelf life of produce.
Besides these advanced processing techniques, appropriate packaging is also necessary to achieve an extended shelf life. There is a large number of different packaging for fresh produce to extend the shelf life that can be found in the grocery stores. However, these conventional packaging methods sometimes lack the efficiency to prevent the fresh produce from spoilage. This triggers food scientists to develop more advanced packaging techniques. Now let's take a closer look at the differences between the conventional packaging and the advanced packaging. One of the advanced packaging is the active packaging. So for most of the conventional packaging, foods are covered by some packaging materials. These materials act as barriers to isolate the foods from the environment. So the microorganisms outside the packaging cannot reach to the food and cause spoilage. However, if there are some remaining microorganisms after the processing inside the box, these microorganisms inside the packaging still can cause a spoilage of food. Then food scientists came up with the idea of adding active killers inside the packaging. In this way, the packaging materials act not only as a barrier to keep the environmental microorganisms away, but reducing the number of microorganisms inside the package. Thus, the food can be preserved for a longer time and has less chances to be wasted.
Here are some examples of the potential active killers that are under investigation by the Canadian food scientists. Ethyl sulfite in garlic has been studied by the assistant professor Dr. Xiaonan Lu in the University of British Columbia. Professor Dr. Lu Tang Lim in the University of Guelph indicated that wasabi, which is always served in a green paste form with sushi, contains sulfur compounds to kill microorganisms. And also the Professor Dr. Mansell Griffith and Dr. Hani Anani from the University of Guelph proposed that the application of bacteriophage in the packaging can avoid the spoilage of food. The techniques mentioned here are just the tip of the iceberg. Besides the vacuum microwave drying, high-pressure processing, ultrasonic washer, and the active packaging strategies, there are numerous other techniques that are under investigation by the food scientists here in Canada to reduce the spoilage of fresh produce and to reduce food waste. As food researchers ourselves, we have a strong confidence that, with all of the efforts of food scientists, the amount of food waste can be reduced significantly, and to achieve a more sustainable food chain to feed the 9 billion people in the world by 2050.